All right, it's week 2. It's episode 2, and this time, unbeknownst to all of you, we do actually have 80 this time. It might look like Jameis Winston, but 80 is actually here. Couldn't get the video, but we got the audio. We're glad to have you, 80. Welcome.
Oh yeah,
welcome.
Thank you.
He didn't want to deal with IT today. He was like, that's
understandable.
That's an
I left my laptop at work because I went out of town, and I just didn't go back and get it.
No worries.
I just didn't go back and get it.
Were you visiting BBQ's barbecue joint? That's the real question.
That's what he was doing.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm BQB's biggest fan.
True and real. Got to get that barbecue, man.
Oh,
Some good
man.
stuff. But we are here. Like we mentioned last week, we're going to start doing deep dives into each conference. So today we're going to start it off with probably the conference that had some of the biggest changes in the offseason. We're going to be hitting up the AFC North. So I'm going to be going over each team, kind of our thoughts on their off seasons, schedule for next year, what we think wins are going to be, who's going to win the division, things like that. So we're just going to go kind of in order with how they finished last season, regardless of what we think this season's going to look like. So we're going to start off with the Steelers. The Steelers. Now, Hiccup did say last episode they did make a head coaching change, but they're still going to just go 9-8 again.
Yeah, they are the kings of 9-8 and then losing in the wild card round. No one does it quite like the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So yeah, Mike Tomlin out of the building. His record of going 9-8 is held there, and now Mike McCarthy is picking up the slack from a Mike to a Mike. I feel it's a pretty lateral move, honestly.
No, I don't think that, like, the improvements that this team made, like, you could argue that it's like Mike McCarthy coming in is just like a culture change, which, I mean, it is, to be fair. I mean, he's not Mike Tomlin. Congratulations, culture change. I mean, so it gets the stale taste out of the building, and you bring in Mike McCarthy, who does have a rapport with Aaron Rodgers, so, like, you've got that. But, like, their upgrades came in the form of, I mean, they brought in 2 new receivers. They brought in good old Michael Pittman and may have paid him more money than he's worth. I don't know.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. And then,
They
obviously,
brought in Rico, too.
Yeah, they brought in Rico Dowdle. So it's like they made upgrades in places. I don't know. I mean, they've got the most. Do they still have the most expensive defense in the league? Do we know this? I'm pretty sure they do.
I don't know.
We can say one of the.
Their defense didn't really show up last season. Like,
no, and last season
great.
they also they paid a receiver ridiculous amounts of money. I may or may not be wearing that player's jersey right now. We're gonna pretend it's a Sam Darnold jersey, but DK Metcalf did not play out for them at all. Like, the man did absolutely nothing during his time there, and they lost George Pickens, which arguably was a huge loss last season. They felt it. I just don't know if they can really make a case. Now, here's the thing, though, with all 4 teams in this division, we were actually chatting a little bit about this before we went live. The Pittsburgh Steelers currently have the 23rd easiest schedule this season. So they, I mean, in theory, that 9-8, I think they ended 10-7 last year. Actually, in the end, they ended at 10-7. I mean, I think with a schedule that easy, 10 wins could be possible again. That might be their ceiling. I don't know.
No, I mean,
absolutely not.
Oh,
you think it's lower?
You have them at 9-8. I have them at 8-9. I look at this team, and there's just not one person that stands out to me and says that they're a game changer. Right? The Bengals have theirs. Ravens have theirs. Browns did have theirs. But I mean, we all know where the Browns are going to end in this division. So, but there's just no one on this team that just says This is a winning team to me.
It's just a really boring team on paper.
We're on a 2-minute drill. I just don't see anybody on that roster that is going to save the day.
Well, you don't think 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers, all he can do is get the ball in the air, right? I mean, it's sad when a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers is your absolute playmaker on the team, in my opinion. And
on offense, because I mean, they got TJ Watt on the defense. Like their defense is they still have Hayward, right? Yeah, he didn't leave. Yeah, Cam Hayward's still there. Like, I mean, their defense will win them some games, which I think is where you're looking at that 8 and 9, like you were talking about, 80. I mean, so schedule wise, if we look at their schedule, they start at Atlanta. Then I believe
They go to Foxborough.
Then they go to Foxborough.
And then they've got back-to-back division games.
Yep.
Like going in, I mean, if you going in, because they've got a pretty like well-placed bye week, like right in the middle of the season. I mean, if they, because I mean, I'd probably take them over Atlanta. I would definitely take them over Cleveland both times because, well, we'll get to them later. Yeah, and then it's like I would probably take them over Indy, and then I think they split Tampa Bay, New Orleans. So that's what 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that's 6 wins. That's
and then the
2 going into the bye week with losses.
After their bye week is rough though.
Oh well, yeah, no, that's a like I think they're 5-3 going into the bye with losses to New England, Cincinnati, and then probably New Orleans or Tampa. One of them. Obviously, that Tampa game. That New Orleans game is over in Europe. That is a. Yeah. So like maybe they, I don't know. Like I think 5-3, or 4-4 at worst going into the bye week is pretty good. But then you look after their bye week at Cincinnati, at Philly versus Denver versus Houston. Like my
Jacksonville's a toss-up.
My God.
Then Baltimore. Then Carolina's probably a toss-up. They probably beat Tennessee.
And then the Baltimore game.
And then Baltimore again.
But I don't even know if they beat Tennessee. I really don't.
Tennessee
and Jacksonville is more than a toss-up. I think Jacksonville has the edge.
I do also think. I think that like there's a non-zero chance that they go like 2-7 down the stretch.
Yeah.
It's like you look at that. It's like the only games where you would be like, okay, I think they have a chance is like against Carolina, maybe against Tennessee, and then maybe against Jacksonville. Like that's it. Yeah. That's it. There's 3 games there that you might give them the edge. I mean, you could say that maybe Baltimore because it's a division game. It's week 18. Things get weird. So okay, fine. You go 6-4. Congratulations. You go 6-3. Congratulations. 3-6. Like, congratulations. What do you? Here's a cookie. I mean,
I will say, I had. If we're looking just at division rankings, I had Pittsburgh ending 3rd in this division.
I think that's realistic. No, I also would put them at 3rd because I mean, like the first half of their season, it's like if they can go 5-3, that's great. But then it's like the back half of the season at best is 4-4. So guess where that leads them, guys? Congratulations, they win the 9-8 sweepstakes once again.
Yeah. Yep.
And I have them splitting with Cleveland.
Oh, okay. See, it's like splitting with Cleveland. Yeah, no, I could also see that. And I mean,
should Dewar pulls one out?
No,
so it's not bad. I mean, even without Myles Garrett, Cleveland's defense is legit.
Yeah. I don't think
Jared Verse. I mean, we'll get to Cleveland, but Jared Verse is not a bad player.
Yeah, the Steelers.
He's not bad.
As AD said, are like a really boring team on paper, and it's like their playmakers are Aaron Rodgers, Michael Pittman, and DK Metcalf when he's not beating up a fan. Like,
dude, but here's the thing, DK Metcalf. Okay, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant as a Seahawks fan. The man is a giant of a human being. He should be able to physically impose his will over any corner in the league. And the man has a sub 50% rate on contested catches. He sucks. He's terrible. Like, Pittsburgh got absolutely hosed on that trade. John Schneider is a miracle worker. He got the man out of the building, and JSN has flourished, and DK has absolutely crumbled. Like I feel so bad for Aaron Rodgers because like wait, it's who? It's DK and who's the other big receiver?
It's Pittman.
Like,
I mean, you have DK Pittman, and then they got like Jeremy. They got Bernard.
Don't say Pittman like that. Pittman is good.
Pittman's
He's
good.
good.
Pittman
like,
is their number one.
Yeah, but then like your number 2 is DK Metcalf. No,
Yeah, and then your number 3 is probably a rookie because I mean they drafted that guy out of Alabama, Bernard.
That's right.
So it's like Pittman and DK. I mean,
could be good.
Pittman and DK on paper are not a terror. I mean, it's not. There's definitely worse duos in the league than Pittman and DK.
Yeah.
Like you could do a lot worse than DK and Pittman. I mean, then it's like Rico Dowdle is like
he had his moments last year.
He had his moments, so he's pretty good. I think that my bigger concern would be their O-line situation because Aaron Rodgers is not mobile at all because he's over the age of 40. So
here's the question: does Aaron Rodgers get hurt this season? Does he get hurt when we see Mason Rudolph?
I
don't think the script will allow him to get hurt.
No, I think Aaron Rodgers is 100% going to be playing the whole season. I think he may just get sacked a lot, which if you're getting sacked a lot, then Pittman and DK are irrelevant.
Yeah,
true.
I think Rodgers still is the normal Rodgers. I think he throws for 3,000 yards. I think he throws for 20 plus touchdowns, 10 interceptions at the most. I don't see him going over that.
Yeah, no,
just kind of has a good season to call it.
You're getting the best of Aaron Rodgers that you possibly can at 40-something years old.
Right.
And it's better than what Cleveland has.
Yeah, no,
if you go on average,
Aaron Rodgers will not be the reason that they lose games.
No, absolutely not.
So I don't know. They're just a boring team, and Mike McCarthy, unfortunately, is just a boring coach. I mean, you'll get average, which is 9-8. But this year I don't think 9-8's get. I mean, they got into the playoffs last year at 9-8 because they won that sorry excuse of a division. That's not going to happen again this year. I do not think that they are not winning that division because the other teams in the division, well, the ones that'll be competing with them got better, or at least like in the case of healthier. In the case of, well, I imagine we'll go to talk to next the Ravens.
Yeah,
they just got healthier.
The Ravens. Yeah, they got healthier.
Yeah. I think the AFC North is the health. Like, how do you put it? Probably the healthiest division in the AFC right now, but also the most injury prone at the same time.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think everyone is back. Everyone got injured at the right times last year, where they can play at full speed this year. Right.
Yeah, you could kind of look at Baltimore and Cincinnati in the same boat. They are glass cannons, right? They'll torch you, they'll destroy you, but the second somebody gets hit too hard or too weird,
it's over.
It's over. The fragile nature. But yeah, the Baltimore Ravens ended 8-9 last year. They had some weird losses. Lamar was hurt for a good chunk of the season. They had Huntley.
Quote unquote.
Hey, Pro Bowler.
Pro Bowler.
Unquote,
Tyler Huntley.
My apologies. They look like they're going to be better. I mean, the big news in the Ravens is coaching change, right? Harbaugh is gone. Jesse Minter comes in. Jesse Minter, really good defensive coach that was on the Chargers last year. They had one of the better defenses in the NFL. I can't remember. I think they might have been like second right behind the Broncos in the AFC.
I think so, yeah. They
National
were very good.
champions at Michigan too before he came to the NFL.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a big fan of him. I talked about him a lot before he was hired last year. So
you did.
I expect big things, but at the same time, the coaching change also puts a big question mark on the offense.
Yeah, and I think the offense, there are two concerns that I have. Number one is the center is gone. What starts with an L? Linderbaum, thank you. He gets shipped over to the Raiders. He's hanging out with Mendoza and Kirk Cousins now, protecting them. So offensive line is a little bit of a question. And then Zay Flowers is your number one receiver.
Well, and it's like Zay
It's
Flowers.
like,
Zay Flowers is their number one, and then obviously they lost Isaiah Likely because he went and followed Harbaugh to the Giants.
Followed Harbaugh to the Giants.
I mean, he wasn't their number one tight end because Mark Andrews is still, Mark Andrews still exists, and he's a pretty good tight end. But yeah, you've got Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews, and that's your receiving core. Congratulations.
They still have Rashad Bateman, don't they? I mean, I know he's not flashy or anything, but he's reliable.
And then Hollywood Brown.
Oh
Lord, don't get me started.
Oh,
Hollywood Brown. Yeah, it's like that receiving core isn't crazy, but it's like when your head coach is a defensive-minded kind of guy, and like, I don't know, I feel like there may be less passing than what
Who
we
is the OC that he brought in? Do we know?
I don't remember what his name is. All I know is the different guy. It's not who they've had before.
Doyle.
Yes, right.
Declan Doyle.
He was the OC for the Bears last year.
Then I would expect a lot of rushing then, because the Bears had a lot of success on the ground with Swift and
they did. And when you have King Henry in the backfield,
and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
yes,
I mean,
Lamar is the threat here. I think not.
I think the biggest thing with Lamar is going to be how does he play after his injury? Because his injury wasn't leg related, right? It was upper body.
I don't remember. Lamar
slash giving up on team.
Slash giving up on team. Yeah, in parentheses.
It was a back contusion.
Yeah, so like his legs, he didn't injure his legs, so I would assume he'll be able to run just as much. And then obviously it is the question of when, if ever, does Father Time catch up with Derrick Henry? I mean, this man is old for a running back.
He's ancient. Yeah, he's ancient.
His production has not fallen off yet.
Dude's a workhorse, man. He can't be
stopped. It is how does Lamar, I mean, obviously Lamar is getting older, so it's like at a certain point he isn't going to be able to run as much, but we haven't seen that, it hasn't stopped him yet. But then Derrick Henry is he's getting older. At some point he's going to hit a wall, and it could be this season. If Derrick Henry hits a wall, like that rushing attack is just not as effective.
Who's behind him on the depth chart?
Good question. That one guy.
I don't know actually. Okay, I don't know this name. It's Justice Hill.
Oh,
you don't know Justice Hill?
I don't. I'll be the first to admit it. I don't know Justice Hill. Who's Justice Hill?
That's fine.
That's fine, he says.
Oh, okay. So they do have Rashad Bateman, by the way, but it's not Hollywood Brown. The third receiver is Devontae Walker.
Ah, yes.
Don't know who
famous
that is either.
Devontae Walker.
So it's like if Henry hits a wall and it's all on Lamar at that point, that's where you're concerned.
Yeah, no, it is a concern. I do think though that even if the offense takes a step back, I mean they've got a defensive minded head coach now, and they did. Let us not forget they did steal Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals.
Oh, that's right.
After the whole
debacle, Max Crosby,
debacle. So they did get Trey Hendrickson, and then obviously everyone's healthy. So Kyle Hamilton will be back. And
Kyle Hamilton's back. You have Humphrey.
Yeah,
that's still there, and their corners were pretty good too. I don't.
Yeah, Nate Wiggins, and they've got like a decent is it the Steelers defense? No, but I mean you have a different. I mean they haven't had someone like Trey Hendrickson in ages. I mean, especially when it comes to pass rush, they didn't really have anything. So that should potentially, because it always felt like the Ravens had to win. They had to grind out wins because they couldn't really get to the quarterback. And so they've always had like a pretty decent secondary with Kyle Hamilton. And then obviously before Kyle Hamilton, you had, the pedigree that they've had in the secondary. So their defense should be much better than due to injury, people being healthy. And then obviously bringing in someone like Trey Hendrickson. So I
Right.
don't think that like the offense taking a step back necessarily will kill them because the defense can take a step forward. But the offense is definitely, I think, a bigger concern than it has been in recent years.
Yeah. And the good news, as we talked about, is again, this division has some of the easiest schedules in the entire league. The Ravens are sitting at number 27, so the 27th easiest schedule. Indy, New Orleans, Dallas is a little rough in that first little stretch. Tennessee, they probably win. Atlanta, they probably win. Cleveland, they probably win. I mean, they don't have a bye until week 13.
They have a really late bye, and especially
Yeah.
for a team like this who has been injury prone recently, having that late bye is gonna hurt. Especially, I mean, I will say like that schedule after the bye is fairly manageable. And you play Tampa, you play Pittsburgh twice, you play Cleveland, you play Cincinnati. Like you could pretty easily go like at least 3-2 down that stretch. So if you can get like 8 wins off the start. I mean, the hardest games when you're looking at the before the bye week is obviously Dallas, Buffalo, Los Angeles, and then Houston, Cincinnati. So you're looking at like 5 or 6 like potential losses there in the 12 games, but even that's still 7 wins.
Yeah.
So I mean,
they get like a little mini bye between Jacksonville and the Chargers as well, a Thursday to Monday game.
Oh yeah,
Thursday
they
to
do
Monday.
they do get the mini bye. So
Now,
like,
I will say I kind of like the later bye for them because let's just say somebody does get hurt, right? This gives it time, right? They're going to have the bye a little bit later. I think you have much more manageable games, right? And then because if they get hurt at the end of the season, right? If
I would argue earlier, I would argue the end of this. I would say the end of season injuries, their end of season schedule is more manageable in that like the middle of the season. They play Cincinnati, Buffalo, the Chargers, and the Texans in a 6-week span.
Right, but what I'm
And
saying
then you get the mini bye.
You get the mini bye, right? And then you get the bye afterwards. If the bye was earlier, is what I'm saying. I think that would be worse for them going. Like if it was in between.
Oh, that's
like,
what you're saying.
you know,
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I think the bye is in a good spot for them, just based off of how the schedule lines up.
It is
It is. You come out of the bye, and arguably the easiest part of your schedule.
And I mean, they're
outside
definitely.
of, like, Cincy.
I would be very surprised if they're not in the division. Like they're always in the division race, and especially like you go into the last 5 weeks of the season. If Baltimore isn't in the division race, then something's wrong. Like you go into the last 5 weeks of the season and you play 4 divisional games for you to try and lock up the division.
Yeah,
I mean that's kind of what you want.
Yeah, and don't forget they didn't get the wild card spot last year because of that crazy field goal at the end of the game against Pittsburgh. Like absolute little bit of a fluke. So I would be surprised if they're not competing.
Yeah, I mean, I would put their floor at like 9 wins, worst case scenario, if not 10. I think 10 is really manageable. I mean, their ceiling is, I mean, you're talking like 12, 13 wins.
Yeah, I have them at 10-7.
Yeah, I think 10-7 or 11-6 is probably the most likely situation.
11-6 is what I had them.
I think 11-6 is probably where they find themselves because I think they lose to Dallas. I think they lose to Buffalo. I think they lose to the Chargers. They probably split with Pittsburgh, even though they shouldn't. They probably split with Cincinnati. So, and then they have one more other, kind of floaty fluke loss because the AFC North always seems to have those just fluky losses like that they'll go and lose to freaking Atlanta for some reason.
Yep.
we have the same thought process, but I have them getting swept by Cincinnati.
You think Cincinnati sweeps them?
I think Cincinnati is a dark horse this season. I think they're underrated.
I think that's a great.
I think they could be not a Super Bowl favorite, but a contender.
I agree. We can move right into the
AFC
Bengals.
Is whack.
AFC is crazy. Now, here is the thing about the Bengals. I think their biggest issue in the past has been the defense, right? I think we can all agree their offense is, when healthy, one of the best in the entire league. But they made additions to the defense. Like that was almost all of their offseason was getting stuff. They got arguably one of the better linebackers that was on the free market, Boye Mafe. He was on the Seahawks. He's absolutely a baller. He'll bring up that linebacking core. They did lose Trey Hendrickson. That does hurt, but they did get what's his name? My brain totally just Sexy Dexy.
Yeah, the Dex.
The Dex, Sexy Dexy. So I think their defense is improved. Shamar Stewart is on the edge. He did not have a good rookie year. Hopefully,
nobody on that defense had a good year. Even Trey Hendrickson,
he did have.
He was on that. Year. He was on that defense, and they still stunk.
Yeah, they were not great. So I'm trying to remember who else they got. So yeah, they've got Boye Mafe. Oh, they still have Jonathan Allen on the line. Miles Mumphrey. He's pretty good. And then let's see, who are the corners? They got Jalen Davis. Brian Cook is in the backfield, Jordan Battle. So, I mean, your secondary is a little still that's where it's going to be, I think, the hardest for them if people can burn them in the passing game, that's where it's going to get scary. So,
yeah, but I mean, it's the thing with this team is that defense just needs to be manageable. The problem is that last season they had a horrendous defense, and not only that, then you have Joe Burrow. I mean, then there's the Joe Burrow thing. This man is one of the best quarterbacks in the league by far, unless he's hurt, and that man gets hurt so much.
It's kind of unfathomable. Honestly.
The man has 60 touchdowns in his last 25 starts.
That's crazy.
He's crazy, but the problem is that those last 25 starts are over the course of 4 seasons.
Exactly. Yes.
Now, the bad news, we're talking about injuries and everything. Here's the thing. They have 5 games and then their bye week happens.
They do have a very, very early bye week.
So early.
That
if anybody
not
gets hurt,
really what you want to see. Because it's they have. It's not good.
Now the good news. Oh, go ahead.
Hold up. Go back to what we were talking about for a second. Was Burrow's last full season, every game played during the season, was it the Super Bowl year?
No, because remember they went to the AFC Championship game one other season after that and lost to Kansas City.
The last time without an injury reported was 2021.
Oh, that is the Super Bowl season.
That is the Super Bowl year. He has had an injury with time missed every other season.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Hang on.
Holy.
No, he played all 17 games in 2024.
It says, I'm reading, he's only played a full 17 games once in his career.
I am looking 17 games played in 2024, 17. He threw for almost 5,000 yards.
And they missed the playoffs?
No, I don't think they missed the playoffs.
Because they've missed the playoffs the last 3 years.
They may have, but I think the 2024 defense was a lot worse than this year's. Yeah, because they finished 3rd in the division, and their losses, let me read you out the losses in 2024. They lose 38-33, 41-38, 35-34, 34-27, 44-38. That defense was putrid in 2024. I mean, it was bad last year, but it was even worse the year before. Joe Burrow almost throws for 5,000 yards, and you're 3rd in your division.
Okay, yeah. So it is just those 2 seasons, by the way. The 2024 one was not.
So he's had 2 seasons where he's been able to play.
2 seasons.
And one of them was at the Super Bowl, and the other was congratulations, you're 3rd place in the division because your defense gives up
despite
40 points a game.
That's so sad.
So I want to just assume that Joe Burrow will be healthy. I feel like even though the injury is practically priced in at this point, maybe you give 2 games where if there's a flip-flop game, you're Joe Burrow's hurt this game.
Yeah. If they don't make the playoffs this year, and I don't see that possible, and unless someone gets hurt, Jamar Chase gets hurt or something.
If Jamar Chase gets hurt,
is it time for him to go
to leave
another team?
I think so.
Well,
Unless you just get rid of the coach. Zach Taylor finally gets the stanky boot.
This man still having a job is baffling.
He made a deal with the devil, and it's guaranteed for 10 years, it looks like.
Guaranteed devil deal, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, Joe Burrow, the good news is that the Bengals' offensive line was ranked number 7 last year.
Yeah, no, Joe Burrow wasn't getting sacked. He just gets hurt.
So as long as he just doesn't get hurt.
Well, it's like their schedule is quite manageable.
It's very easy. Easiest.
The hardest team they play on their schedule is Houston? Question mark.
I mean, depending on how you look at it, don't ask this podcast. People could point at Kansas City, but we're not going to.
No,
Kansas City, that game is late enough in the season that Mahomes should be back.
Their second hardest game is Baltimore.
Yeah, no, like their hardest games are Houston and their 2 games against Baltimore. Like we're looking at a team that potentially is getting like 14, 15 wins if everything goes as it should.
I think it depends on which Tampa Bay we get as well. If we get a really good
week 1 Tampa Bay, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm kind of down on Tampa, but that's for another day.
Yeah, they come down to how healthy are they have the talent.
Yeah, because it's like you look at their defense, even if you don't rate their defense too highly, it's like, what's the best offense they're going to face here? Baltimore.
Well, even if you don't rate their defense highly, look at you were reading out the scores. It's not like those games were like blowouts.
Well, and it's like, but even if you don't think the defense is that great, like even if it's like average, you look at the offenses that they're playing this year, and they're just playing nothing but below average offenses. Like Pittsburgh, Miami, Tennessee, Atlanta, Washington, New Orleans, Cleveland, Indianapolis. Like they play like an above average offense like 5 times, maybe less than that. And it's definitely not an offense that could keep up with their offense.
Yeah, and I mean, I think based off that we're all talking, I had them winning the division.
Oh, I would also have that. I would be very surprised if they don't.
Yeah.
Unless people get hurt.
11-6.
See,
I had 12-5.
I would do 12-5 or 13. I would almost
splits.
I would do 12 or 13 wins for them.
I went 11-6 because of injury concerns.
Yeah,
they still win.
Yeah, no. I think the Bengals are in number 1 are in the 1 seed contention with like Buffalo and stuff.
I think this is Cincinnati's division to lose, because here's the thing. The Ravens, we talked about, they have an easier schedule, so they could win these games, but I think that the Bengals can beat them.
See, I would say the Bengals have an easier schedule.
Well, right. No, I'm not saying they have the Ravens have an easier. I'm saying the Ravens have an easy schedule. So yeah, their win totals could be high, but I think they're going to lose both games to Cincy. No,
I agree. Granted, we talked about the Bills like this last year. Like this is, the conference as a whole is kind of weak. This could be the year, and then they go and do that.
Yeah.
So it's they should be able to win the division. You would hope fairly easily, given this schedule and given the state of the other teams in the division. And then this could be a Super Bowl. This should be a Super Bowl run for them. It should be. The injuries. If not,
it has to be the coach.
Yeah, no. If they don't make the Super Bowl this year and it isn't injury related, like if Joe Burrow gets hurt again, I think you still blow the team up, because then at this point you're showing that Joe Burrow can't be your answer because he just isn't available. And if your quarterback's not, even if he is the best player on the team, if he's not available, then it's irrelevant. I think you just blow up the team if they don't do super well. Like, unless they go and they lose in the AFC Championship game or something, and then at that point you're like, okay, you can still run it back. But if they don't win the division and injuries aren't a problem, or injuries are a problem, I think you just start over. You fire Zach Taylor. You try and trade Joe Burrow. You let Jamar Chase do what he wants. You just reset.
Okay.
Hear me out.
What happens if they go 8-8, but it's the defense's fault?
Everything still blows up.
I think you still blow it up.
Here's my thought process. I think if you lose any game up until the AFC Championship, so if they get wild card, if they get the bye, doesn't matter. If they lose any game before the AFC wild card, I think Zach Taylor is for sure gone. I think if they don't make the playoffs, I think everybody is gone. It's going to be a fire sale. Very much kind of what we saw the Dolphins do, but on a much grander scale. because of the names that are
It's
I
involved.
hope they at least get something in return.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, for sure.
I think if things get blown up, and regardless of Joe Burrow's injury situation, if things get blown up and that man gets traded somewhere, I mean, we're talking at like 2 first-round picks, if not more. Just because of how heavily quarterbacks are like weighted in this league, it's like Myles Garrett was traded for 2 first-round picks, but you know a team would trade 3 first-round picks for Joe Burrow.
Oh, easily somebody would. I'm looking at you, Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not tank. It's not.
Or Cleveland.
Or Cleveland.
Wait, no, they wouldn't trade him in division.
Dude, there's no way they're trading him in division.
No,
No
I do
way.
think that this is either a Super Bowl run or we see a completely different Bengals team next year.
I agree.
Do you think the Rams would take a chance on him?
Stafford
No,
is
they
in
draft
for another
last
year, so I think the Rams, unfortunately, well, I don't know.
They've got-
I'm talking about next year if we're fire selling.
No, if you're
They
fire
drafted,
selling,
what's his butt?
because they drafted Simpson, but
Yeah.
Stafford is under contract for 2 more
You
seasons.
didn't even remember his name.
Yeah,
we're
that's-
talking about
So
Joe Burrow.
if
Hey,
the
but that's because of my own bias at this
The,
point.
the thing with the Rams is that they extended Stafford another year. So Stafford still has 2 more years on his contract. So if the Bengals blow themselves up after the season, Stafford is still around for another year. So at that point, they have to decide in the world of hypotheticals, if the Bengals blew up and the Rams wanted Stafford, first of all, with what draft picks? Second of all, you have Stafford still on contract. So that would be a whole other can of worms. The kind of almost disqualify the Rams for a Joe Burrow sweepstakes. They don't have the capital. They don't have the salary. Like they have a bunch of problems with them. So I don't know where things would go. And then it's like, does Jamar Chase follow Joe Burrow? This is a rabbit hole. It is a rabbit
they
hole.
could go to Minnesota and all reunite with Jefferson.
With Jefferson.
I think it's a rabbit hole that I think
colors, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a rabbit hole we only go down if we get to like week 10 and they're like 3-7.
Gosh,
The man was thrown into a lot of trade discussions last year, though. We've seen
Yes,
it
he
all
was.
last year.
No, we have. So
it's not like the team hasn't flirted or thought about
No,
it.
Oh, yeah.
I do. If the team does not win the division and make a Super Bowl run, it's all gone. It's the next offseason will be crazy.
anything that is not an AFC Championship loss, that's a close loss. I think it's over. I think the team is gone.
Yeah, it's not great. But hey, regardless of how they do, surely they cannot do worse than the dumpster fire that is the Cleveland Browns. They got rid of they got rid of their worst player. They had Myles Garrett on the team and still were terrible.
Yeah, so here's the thing. They went 5-12 last year, and Myles Garrett broke the sack record.
And their best quarterback was Joe Flacco.
Yeah, their best quarterback was Joe Flacco. The rumors right now is it's either going to be Deshaun Watson or Shador. Neither of which grants you a lot of confidence in anything. And again, like I was saying, Jared Verse is not a bad player, but he's not Myles Garrett. He's not going to break the sack record, so he's not going to vitally change that defense.
But sacks didn't matter apparently. So
apparently,
it did not matter.
This team has no saving. Keyshawn Judkins is probably the best player on offense.
Oh my god.
That's literally where we're at with this team. Is that
that's where we're at.
We're at the point that Keyshawn Judkins or Fannin, their tight end, are their 2 best offensive players.
Yeah,
because Jerry Judy's not bad.
Judy is not bad.
If you have a quarterback that can't throw a football, it doesn't matter how good of a receiver you are.
Okay, so they did draft another receiver, so we'll have to see how good he does. It was KC Concepcion. I can't remember where he played. So, Jerry Judy plus maybe a rookie has a breakout year if he's good. Because, again,
you don't have a quarterback.
I understand they don't have a quarterback. But the good news, if you are looking for any tiny bright spot in the Cleveland Browns story this year, is they have the second easiest schedule in the NFL. The second easiest. So if you're looking for any bright spot, you're gonna be able to get some games.
Dude, this schedule, I mean,
randomly.
This schedule is like, I mean, congratulations, you get to play the New York Jets. I'm so proud of you. Like, I don't know.
But you still might not win.
You still might not win that game.
Like, legitimately, if you look at this schedule, there's a chance that they could lose all of these.
I'm like, the game, their competitive games, are going to be New York and end of discussion.
Depending on how Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, by the time we get to week 7, we'll know what kind of Tennessee Titans we have.
So
but Tennessee
Giants
should be
and
better,
Jets, right?
No, not even Giants, just Jets.
You don't think?
No, there's no way. There's New York is better than them at literally every position.
Yes, New York is a sleeper team.
New York is a sleeper team.
If they stay healthy.
The Browns are in #1 overall pick contention. Granted, it's a distant fourth. It's a distant fourth, but
yes, they 100% are.
Like it's like you're looking at New York, you're talking the Jets, and then maybe like Indy, like depending on how Indy looks by the end of the season, and it's like how does New Orleans maybe look? Like I don't know. But it's like they have one game. There is one game. In fact, are they even? I would hope they're favorites. They're probably favorites for what? One game? The Jets.
Curious. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna look at that.
Like, because there's no way they're favorites in any other game other than their game against the Jets in Week 5.
I feel like I'm pretty lenient. I gave them a 3 and 14. That's just because their defense alone.
I would give them 3 to 4 wins as well. Their ceiling is like maybe 5. Maybe.
That is
maybe. It's a tall ceiling.
Yeah, that's the.
And their floor is probably what, 1 win. The Jet.
Their floor already has a hole in it.
0.
The floorboard of the car is gone.
Floorboards are gone.
Okay, so the Browns are currently favored in 2 games.
Okay, what is the other game? Is it Tennessee?
Okay, I'm gonna hit you with it. It's neither of the ones that we talked about.
Is it Vegas?
So week 12 versus the Raiders, they are a 2.5 favorite. Okay, the other one's gonna blow your guys' minds. Are you ready for this?
Atlanta.
It is Atlanta. They are a 1.5 point favorite.
I mean, the Raiders won. Okay, whatever,
now,
sure. But Atlanta,
they do have 4 games where the spread is only by a 1.5. Week 3 versus Carolina.
Okay.
Week 5 at the Jets. The Jets are favored by a 1.5. And Indy is favored by a point.
Okay, so yeah,
and then Tennessee is favored by 2.5 points, but those are their closest spreads.
Like the Atlanta one, that Atlanta's sure you could argue Atlanta's defense is worse than Cleveland's, but holy, even if it is Tua and Michael Penix, that offense is still so much better. You've got freaking Bijan Robinson and Drake London.
I mean,
and don't forget about Kyle Pitts.
And Kyle Pitts, this is his year, guys. I mean, this Browns team, are there any Browns fans left? Do they exist?
I don't know.
I don't know, but you can go to that game for $26.
Yo, wait, 26?
26.
Guys, maybe we all meet up for a Browns game.
$26. Dude, there's only 2 games on here where the lowest ticket price is over $100.
Wait,
they have, let's see,
Pittsburgh.
How many are 50 or less? They have
crazy.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games at under $50.
To pay for that new stadium, so that makes sense.
And you know what's funny? The 2 highest ones are at opposing team stadiums, and that's why the cost is higher.
Well, and what's even funnier? They have 1 game that isn't in the 11A.
Yeah, that's when you know you're bad.
Gosh.
They've got
that one. Oh my God. They've got that 1 p.m. Eastern time slot on lock.
I did not even see
the only
that.
reason they got the 6:15 is because it's prime.
Yeah, dude.
That's
crazy.
I mean, this has got to be this team. I mean, if this team wins more than 3 games, you call it a success. Like, there's nothing. Their quarterback room is just.
here's the thing. If they win more than 3 games, I actually don't think it's a success. You want to know why? Because they need a quarterback and they need to get the best one they can. Granted, this upcoming draft is like full of quarterbacks.
No, but see, the problem is this Cleveland Browns team sucks, but they cannot out-tank the Arizona Cardinals, Jets, or the Dolphins. Like, they can't.
Yeah.
The problem is that, like, Miami has no redeeming qualities other than Achane. The Browns have no redeeming qualities other than Jared Verse and Keyshawn Judkins. 2 is greater than 1.
Yeah. Arizona Cardinals playing the NFC West. Like,
I'm going to show my bias here, but during the preseason, try to catch a game. Try to watch Taylor Green. He's not bad.
Green. Who's Taylor Green?
He was the Arkansas quarterback.
Oh,
did they draft him?
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
I mean, the bar is not very high. The bar is not very high.
No, the bar's not high. No.
Okay. I will give it a watch.
In fact, the bar should be in jail, but you know.
And you know what? I would die for a Cleveland Browns preseason game at this point. I'm telling you.
Throughout their career, Deshaun Watson has made $2 million more than Patrick Mahomes.
Dude, this man, literal armed robbery on top of assault.
That made me want to throw up a little bit. I'm not gonna
Deshaun Watson, but see what's even worse is that Deshaun Watson is a better quarterback than person, and like, the fact that they can't do better than Deshaun Watson. The fact that Deshaun Watson is the lead to be their starter is.
You're absolutely right. I mean, if we're just talking about people on the roster, and I don't support this man whatsoever, to me it's obvious that's your starting quarterback.
Yeah, I think it has to be, right? Yeah.
Do I want him in the league? No, but if he has to be in the league, then
if you're looking
and you're
at it
paying
from
this man that much money,
if you're looking at it from a pure football perspective, I agree with you. But I think if the Browns are smart, hear me out. I think you just go with Shedeur. You get the name presence because, like, I think there was some report I was reading. Shedeur made the Browns like a stupid amount of money because he was playing for them, and so people
even though he had like the lowest QBR in the league.
Yeah, even though he had the lowest QBR, and so I think if you're the Browns, you're looking at it and you're like, we need a better quarterback. This next draft is stocked with it. Deshaun's gonna win us some games that we shouldn't win somehow because he's just better. But we can get some money because of Shedeur and all of his pool. We're going to get people to watch our games just because of the name recognition.
No.
Because maybe he's better. And then
I don't know.
I think that's what you should do. I'm not saying you will. But...
You let that man ball out in preseason and you trade him.
I think regardless of who they start under center, I think the outcome is the same. I don't think they're out tanking the 3 worst teams in the league. They're going to be picking 4th or 5th. Regardless if it's Deshaun or Shedeur.
The QB class is loaded. I think you can still pick a quarterback in that spot.
For sure you can.
I think
as long as you're in the top 5, I think you're safe in that quarterback range.
Or you trade for somebody. I mean, who knows who's going to be? Joe Burrow may be available next offseason. Like, you may not need to draft somebody.
Joe Burrow will block that trade.
Oh, Joe Burrow himself?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hear me out.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you could trade for somebody. I think that, because we don't know
Kyler Murray
where
ends up a Brown.
We don't know where Kyler ends up. We don't know where Mac Jones ends up. Like, I feel like there's a lot of like backups that we don't know where they're gonna go. So, like, they may not have to draft somebody. They may be able to trade for someone. So, I don't know. I just don't think they're gonna win the tankathon. So, I would not try. This team is ironically not good enough to do anything of noteworthy, but not bad enough to tank properly.
I tell you what, Miami will try to win, and they are still going to finish last. So there's just no shot.
There's not. I just don't think the Browns have the negative firepower to start it off.
All right, so obviously easy to say. We all agree the Browns are going to lose this division. They'll be in 4th in the division. I don't think there's any argument there.
No.
So now we get to move on to what we got, what we missed out on last week. We're going to go to 80's Fantasy Corner until 80 gives me a better name for this segment. Now, I'm going to ask 80 a question. You probably didn't have this prepped. Outside of the Bengals, because we already talked about the Bengals, and that's going to be where a majority of our fantasy stuff for this division lies. If you're not looking at the Bengals, who are you drafting in your fantasy stuff from any of these other 3 teams?
Like in a skill position or just overall?
Yeah. Overall, who are you drafting? That's not a Bengals player. Like,
and I have to say in the AFC North.
Stay in the AFC North. That's my one question for this division. Then we can go to any other fantasy stuff that you want. But
I think I would go with Tyler Loop at kicker, right?
that would actually wait. That's not a bad pull. That's not a bad pull.
Oh, Fruit Loops.
Tyler Loop. That's
no.
good.
I mean,
unironically,
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I think Derrick Henry until proven otherwise, there's no reason not to go with Derrick Henry. Lamar, I feel like, is a risk because of injury. Like, you do always run that chance. Unironically, Keyshawn Judkins may not be a bad pull, if only because the Browns will not be able to throw the football, so he will get a lot of touches.
Yeah,
and he did pretty well last year in fantasy. For a Browns running back, like, is there like a running back 2 or 3 to like have on the have on the bench? If you can pick him up in like the 5th round or something.
There you go. Yeah.
Who do you think is starting in Pittsburgh? Is it Rico or is it still going to be Williams or?
See, I think that even
what's
if
the depth chart
Rico,
look like?
Pulling it up.
I would say that even if Rico is the starter, I do think it may be a little more of a committee.
Okay,
because Jalen Warren is currently listed as the starter. So
Yeah,
I
Jalen
think
Warren.
that like Rico probably gets majority of the touches, but we're probably talking like a 60-40, maybe a 70-30. But I think
Same with Hubbard.
I think Warren gives you the danger of stealing touchdowns away. I mean, so I wouldn't want to draft Rico or Warren unless it's an emergency, because I think they're stealing touches from. I would rather have Keyshawn Judkins than either of them. And then and then you do have, I mean, you go over to the Bengals. I mean, it depends on which version you get of depends on which version of Chase Brown you get, because he did not start the season very well and then he kind of started to pick it up. So I mean, I don't know. I also, Chase Brown is just kind of difficult to judge. So again, it's like, I think if you're looking at the best players from this division that aren't named Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, or T. Higgins, I think you are looking at like Derrick Henry, Keyshawn Judkins, and then kind of like figuring out, like, do you need a tight end? Okay, Mark Andrews is probably your best bet. Do you need a receiver? That in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are gone. Pittman probably isn't going to be a bad pick.
No, not at all.
You've got above average quarterback play for him, and I don't think DK is really gonna be.
Pittman's route running is underrated. I think he was open a lot for Indianapolis last year.
So I do think that there are skilled players in this division outside of the big 3 in Cincinnati that you could take. Now, would I take any of the defenses? The Cleveland defense may be okay to take
Maybe the Bengals defense,
and
if
the Bengals,
if it got better,
like I'd
It's a
rather have
big
the.
if.
I mean, then you have the Steelers defense, but again, like after last year, it's like, do you want to take the Steelers defense? I don't know. Maybe if they're playing the Browns.
I mean, you know how we do defense. It's just week by week. If you like them that week, you take them. If you don't,
Exactly.
you don't. I mean,
So,
I never keep the same defense 2 weeks in a row, hardly.
there's probably at least like 5 to 10 players in this division that you could take in fantasy and not be upset.
Yeah. Last year was always the race. Who was playing the Jets?
Yeah, who was playing the Jets?
That's the defense we want.
So now, who's playing the Dolphins?
Yes.
Who's playing the Dolphins? Who's playing the Cardinals? Who's playing the Jets? And who's playing the Browns? Those 4 teams, just pick the defense that's playing them, unless it's one of those other 4 teams playing. Do not take any Browns or Jets players in week 5. That tank bowl will not net you any fantasy points.
Yeah.
All right, 80. What other fantasy topics you got for us?
So most of mine was on my computer, unfortunately, but I still remember some, and I was able to pull up an email of something that I had.
Perfect.
Okay. So I did a fantasy football draft with only AFC North players. I'm going to go through the list one by one. You're going to tell me if you agree or who I should have drafted.
Okay.
So we're going to start with QB. I drafted Lamar Jackson just because I'm always scared of Burrow's injuries.
Yeah,
I think he's probably got a higher upside just because of how much he runs.
The rushing gives you the upside on Lamar. Yeah. I mean, you could argue Joe. I mean, you could argue Burrow, but I do think Lamar is the safer quarterback option.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all in agreement. Lamar Jackson is there.
Yeah.
All right, here's something that is going to blow your mind. You ready?
Oh,
My RB1 from the AFC North. I'm drafting Chase Brown.
Okay.
1,000 yards, and he caught 60 passes last year in a PPR league. That is,
Oh, yeah,
You
that's
just
huge.
have to be prepared for like the first half of the season to stick.
yeah, where he does nothing. Yeah,
Because you had him
but he
last
still finished
season.
with 1,000. I made a
Yeah.
stupid trade with Mason. Or
yeah.
You did.
You did. I was
which
a fan.
ended up not being so stupid at the end. But
At the
those
end,
first
yeah.
8 games were rough. I promise. But no, he has wide receiver hands. He can catch a lot of things. That
Yes, in
shouldn't
a
be caught.
PPR league, Chase Brown is the better of the running backs because you'll get those extra receiving, reception points.
Mhm. And like I said, I base this a lot off of PPR because I assume that's what we're doing again this year.
Yep.
But yeah. All right. So RB2, I went with Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
Yep,
I
thanks.
mean,
That's fair.
until proven
There's-
otherwise, it's
Yeah. There's just no real
no reason
RB2
not
out
to.
there. All right. Wide receiver 1. Do I even have to say?
I mean, if it's if I feel like if anyone picks Jamar Chase is in like 1-1 like overall draft or like conversation.
Yeah. I almost made the Super Bowl last year with Higgins as my number 1.
You
Or no,
did.
you did. I mean, I'm sorry, you did.
Yeah, Hiccup almost did. Yeah.
Yeah, with the
So-
Frankenstein version of the rest of my team.
Yeah, the year before I did make the Super Bowl.
You
and
did
I won
make
with
the
Higgins
Super
as
Bowl
my
with
number
Higgins.
1. So my wide receiver 2 is not Higgins. I went with Zay Flowers.
Really?
Yes.
I don't trust that man on my life. I've had him the last 2 years in fantasy, and it always ended in disaster.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like with the passing volume from Lamar is very much dwarfed by the potential passing volume from Burrow.
I think you could make an argument for Pittman now.
You could
wide receiver.
you could make an argument for Pittman. I would like
Well, I can't change it now because my wide receiver 3 is not Pittman either.
Oh.
Or my flex, sorry.
Who do you, oh yeah. Well, we'll get
Well, I
there.
mean,
We'll
it-
get there, but
It's Higgins, but
Higgins.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like if you're making an all AFC North team, you have to have Chase and Higgins, and then you make an art. Do you take Pittman? Do you take Flowers? I feel like it's just person to person at that point.
that's the beautiful thing with the Bengals. They're going to score 40 points a game, and both Jamar and Higgins are going to be loaded.
They're
Yeah.
both going to
numbers.
get catches. They're both going to
Exactly.
get touchdowns. Yep.
And if you have
Mhm.
Joe Burrow as well, you can just triple dip. Like,
Yeah.
That bye week's going to be rough.
that week 5 bye week.
Week 5 is going to be rough in the
You
fantasy
just
right
take that
there.
L. You don't even drop
Yeah, no,
anybody.
you just give up.
So tight end, it was a really rough decision for me, and I kind of regret it now. Probably should have went with Cleveland here, but I went with Mark Andrews.
I think Mark
Okay.
Andrews is safe because I mean you could go with Fannin. I think Fannon's gonna just
Who's
struggle
throwing
with,
it to him?
Yeah, exactly. Fannin, I think you're just gonna struggle with quality of anything, quality of volume, quality
Targets.
of targets. Like
And Pittsburgh has switched between Frymouth and Washington too much.
Yeah,
to make a
yeah.
decision.
I hated that system.
I mean,
Yeah.
you do. I mean, you could go with Jaceki, but I feel like the Bengals don't really throw to the tight ends a lot. Burrow just throws to Higgins, Chase.
When you have Higgins and Chase, why
Brown.
are you throwing it to the tight end?
So no, I think and especially now that Isaiah Likely is gone, Mark Andrews, I feel like he'll get a few more targets.
I agree. I would also.
All right, I left flex open for us to discuss.
I think it just.
I was leaning toward Jalen Warren because he is also another running back who catches passes, but I don't know. I don't remember
But see, the
how
problem is
McCarthy handles that.
he's gonna be splitting touches with Rico Dowdle.
But I
Like,
just
I-
care about the catches.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but if he's
Does
not in the
McCarthy
back,
like to throw to the
I
running
couldn't-
back?
I
I
don't
couldn't
remember. I don't remember how he was
I don't
in
think-
Dallas. I don't think he does. Because when
No.
he was in Dallas, it was a lot. I mean, those were Dak volume years. I mean, that was Dak
That's
and
the-
CD putting up numbers when McCarthy was there. But again, it's like even if he's good at catching passes, it's like if he's splitting touches with Dowdle, I mean, that just takes potential
But
snaps away.
if Chase Brown is off the board and the receivers we discussed are off the board, I guess you could go with Pittman here. But what other running back? You're not going to get a running back from the Browns that are
Judkins. I think Judkins is just fine.
But is the Browns offense going to score more than what you need in your flex position each week to average out his worth on the fantasy team?
Yeah, I don't. That's the thing. I don't know that. I think that Dowdle and Warren are just going to steal touches from each other. So I wouldn't want to have either of them.
But at least their offense is more productive, I think.
Yeah, it's a more. I don't know.
Maybe you go with wide receiver in your flex then.
I think you do. If you're
I think you go with Pittman.
North.
I do think you go Jamar Chase, T Higgins, and Pittman, and just run a trio. Because once you get past Chase Brown and Derrick Henry, Judkins, you're not really going to be at the goal line to score, and then Dowdle and Warren are just cannibalizing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so
you convinced me on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what you do.
I feel like this is obvious. I already said it earlier. Tyler Loop is your kicker.
A bowl of Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Although Chris Boswell does still exist.
Yeah.
And he does somehow just suck the power out of the other kickers in the league. Every kicker, there'll be a week where every kicker misses an extra point, and then Chris Boswell goes and kicks 10 field goals.
Yeah.
So
they're all short too, because Aaron Rodgers can at least get you in the red zone.
Yeah. So I would almost say Chris Boswell I would almost want Chris Boswell because I think they're scoring less touchdowns than the Ravens are.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a Derrick Henry and a Lamar to run around.
Yeah, and the Bengals kicker, he was always good for 6 or 7 points at least, because that's how many touchdowns you're going to get per game.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting many field goals. You're not getting field goals, and the problem with the Browns is I think you're rarely getting into the red zone.
No, yeah, it's just big play after big play.
So Chris, I would personally take Chris Boswell because I think that offense is going to score less touchdowns than Baltimore will. So you'll get more. Your offense will be efficient enough to get you into the red zone, and their defense is good enough that they'll settle for field goals. I think that's the biggest thing. I think Mike McCarthy is a coward and will kick more field goals.
Yeah.
He'll kick the field goals on 4th and short inside the 40.
Kicker is kind of another one for me. I kind of bounced around a lot last season.
So last season, just in case you were wondering, obviously this is approximate based off of how your scoring goes for fantasy, but Chris Boswell on average had more fantasy points. His floor was 123, his high was 141, depending on how you did the scoring. And Tyler Loop was 100, and his high was 115. So
Chris Boswell was putting up double digits almost every single week. I mean, my wife had him in the Super Bowl, so I think she did. She either had him or she had the Seahawks kicker.
Oh, she did have Myers. That's right.
She had Seahawks. Yeah,
Myers.
So, but I think Chris Boswell.
I think Chris had.
Chris Boswell is a guaranteed 10 to 15 points every week, almost because of how efficiently inefficient that Steelers offense will be with Aaron Rodgers. He'll get he will get you into the red zone, but they will struggle to score at the goal line. So, I mean, I would take Boswell, but Tyler Loop is still a decent pick. I mean, he's definitely better than I'd say most kickers you could go with otherwise in the league.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so for defense, I went Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
I think their special teams is also better
defense, special teams. Yeah, I mean, Steelers are. I mean, you could make the argument for the Steelers, but the thing is that now that Baltimore has Trey Hendrickson. I mean, you could argue the Bengals with Dexter Lawrence, but it's you'd be taking a risk. You'd be taking a risk with that defense because they've not proven themselves at all. Whereas the Baltimore defense has proved itself. They've just all hurt.
And you bring in a very good defensive
minded coach and Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
I would say the skilled players on the defense are better on Baltimore. Like Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah.
He's kind of a freak. He's good.
Yeah. And special teams doesn't come into play that often. So
no, I think you're fine packaging. Baltimore's just fine on both of those.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is That's my team, by the way.
All right. Yeah, I can get behind.
I want to get into a touchy subject because the other day, you and I were kind of talking about this, Mason, and
I think
at some points I disagree. At some points, I disagree with you without telling you. Is JSN worth a first-round draft pick this year?
Whoa!
You're basing this off of last year's numbers.
Whoa!
If we're basing it only off of last year's numbers,
no, I'm saying everyone will base this.
Everybody will be.
Numbers.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna be real honest. I'm a Seahawks fan through and through. I'm a JSN believer, but here's the thing. I don't think he's gonna have the same amount of production. Their schedule is really hard. They're going up against really good defenses, and Torrey Horton is going to be healthier. We saw that Cooper Kupp got active into the games later in the season. And I think now that that offense has had more time to gel, I think he's going to be more involved there. You had AJ Barner and Elijah Arroyo, both tight ends that got high usage. And now they have a coach that was a tight ends coach for George Kittle. They have an offensive coordinator that was doing all of that. He's going to want to get the tight ends involved. And they like to run the ball. They ran the ball the most. And they almost threw the ball the least. They were one of the least, like, as far as like number of snaps that ended up in a pass play, they were at the bottom of the list. And Jason still put up those numbers, which, by the way, is absurd and it is unbelievable.
He had the most yards, if I remember correctly, when I was looking at this. He had the most yards per catch with the least amount of targets. Not catches, but targets.
Yeah, but targets. So I'm going to backpedal a little bit on what I've been saying as I've been talking. So hear me out. I think he's probably still worth a first round pick as far as fantasy goes.
I think it depends on the size of your league.
It would have to be a later first round pick.
Let's go in the middle with the 10-man league. Let's go with 10-man.
Okay, if it's a 10-man league,
12.
Can you name 10 players you'd rather have in fantasy then is basically the question.
No, I think he ends between like 7 and 10.
Okay.
I think he would end in like 7 or 10. I would still take him, but he would not be a high fantasy pick.
No, I mean, I would.
Like,
I mean,
1 through 5.
When I'm thinking of strictly receivers, he's probably like 4th?
Yeah.
Because I would rather have Jamar Chase. I'd rather have Justin Jefferson. I'd rather have Puka.
Depends. Justin Jefferson did not look good last year.
Well, yeah, but look at who was throwing them the football.
I know.
Now he's got a midget throwing. Is that better?
Yeah, better than JJ McCarthy? Yes, better than JJ McCarthy.
Okay.
So it's like, but I feel like the Justin Jefferson is like where it's like, would you rather have Justin Jefferson? Would you rather have JSN? Because after
would you rather have Mike Evans than JSN?
No.
On the Niners?
Would you rather have Puka?
Well, yeah, Puka and Jamar Chase are your 1-2. I mean, those are you're taking those. But then it's like, would you rather have JSN or Justin Jefferson? Would you rather have JSN? No, I don't want Mike Evans over JSN.
CeeDee Lamb and Pickens talk too.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like, would you rather have CeeDee Lamb or Pickens over JSN?
But see, and that's why, like, when you look at targets, like 80 was talking about, like, yeah, he got like stupid good numbers, but he wasn't targeted like a ton because they tried to throw the ball around so much.
And now there's more people to throw the ball around to.
Right, because
when he caught him, he made big plays.
Yeah. And his were always like the giant plays. If you look up JSN highlights, like there was like a video the NFL put out, all of them are just like deep bombs, right? Mm-hmm. That's like everything he did. Obviously, he had clutch catches, don't get me wrong, in like the end zone and like on sidelines. He had a few of those, but the majority of it was all these big downfield throws after a play action or after they had pounded the ball a ton. And that's how it's going to continue to be. And Torrey Horton and the tight ends are going to be the main targets on those kind of inner routes, maybe even Cooper Kupp. But I think if you're going to take him, it's going to be like 10 in a 10-man league.
I think someone probably still takes him in an 8-man league at 8. I think
I might take him at an 8-man league at 8 or even at 5 because I'm a homer.
Take him at 5 would be crazy.
Yeah, 5 would be absolutely
5 would be crazy because if you're at 5, that means that there's still some really good talent still on the board.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Let's say you have the 8th pick, right?
Okay.
Jason's on the board, but so is Christian McCaffrey.
I would.
Who are you taking?
I would take JSN.
I think it would depend on whether
This
or
is
not
where
you.
we hard to disagree, by the way.
I think this is one of those where
sure.
you have to weigh. It's a weighing of, does McCaffrey get hurt again? Because if your answer is no, then you take McCaffrey 10 out of 10 times. But if you think that he does get hurt, then you wait on him. I think McCaffrey's gone before 8 though.
No, well, in an 8-man or a 10-man league, maybe. I don't know. In a PPR league, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
right. So, and that's what we're basing this off. So that's a little unfair.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Because I mean, when you're looking at your receivers are obviously going to be who you take after your running backs. So your running backs, your Bijan is going to be up there. Jamar Chase is out. I mean, you're talking receivers and running backs. You have Bijan, you have Jamar Chase, who are probably your 1 and 2. McCaffrey is probably into top 5 still because of his PPR potential. Jonathan Taylor's probably up there as well. And then Puka's up there. So there's your top 5, just gone already.
Yeah, and then you already put Justin Jefferson over him. So there's
and
6.
Justin Jefferson's there. And then it's like, I would take
CeeDee
HN.
Lamb.
I would take
Who do you pick out of
HN.
CeeDee Lamb and Pickens, though?
And
And
I think-
ETN. Well, I don't know.
Well,
ETN on the
I'd say fair.
Saints.
on the Saints.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
nasty, though.
By ETN, guys, we do mean HN, by the way, because it's pronounced HN.
Oh yeah, it's pronounced Achan. But then
Don't
actual
forget.
Achan, that man is literally the only thing on that Dolphins offense that works properly. That man's gonna get 30 million touches a game and targets because who else? What else are they gonna be doing?
HN and ETN are 2 different people.
No, I know. I
Yes,
was
but
saying
he pronounces his name.
he
HN.
pronounces it
Oh,
Achan.
does he? I
Yeah,
didn't know
he
that.
came out and said
It's
that at a
weird.
press conference that his name is pronounced HN.
It's
That's
weird.
what it was
Hilarious.
like. Everybody's
That's
like, why? That's insane.
Yeah. So
But
it's
if
like,
I'm being unbiased about the JSN thing, obviously, like I would take him earlier because I'm a homer and I want to like put the good vibes out there. But arguably, right, if you're in a PPR league, there's so much talent, especially out of those backfield. CMC, like you mentioned, you got Bijan. They're gonna take a lot of those top spots. So, he might fall out of the top 10. He might be early second round because of it.
yeah, because it's like I would rather have an above average running back that gets a lot of targets than JSN.
Yeah. For a fantasy purpose, yes.
Especially because a lot of these like slightly above average running backs exist on teams who don't have offenses. In ETN, HN, like their offenses are terrible. Brees Hall, like you've got these offenses that are just inept, but their running back is good. So like the offense is gonna run through them.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think this might be an easier comparison. Okay, you're at that 8 spot again. Instead of McCaffrey, what if you have JSN and St. Brown?
I would take JSN.
I
over
would
St.
take
Brown.
JSN as well because I think they're gonna run. I mean, you have Jamar. I mean, we've forgotten about Jamar Gibbs does exist.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he does.
So
he
it's
does
like
exist.
And so
your
does
offense-
Montgomery in Houston.
in
now.
Houston. So
Houston.
yeah, so it's like I would rather have JSN, if only because the backfield situation between the Lions and the Seahawks. I mean, if you're Dan Campbell, you're obviously going to call more running plays than Seattle would because Jamar Gibbs is eons ahead of Zach Charbonnet and Emmanuel Will. Like Gibbs is a top 5 running back in the league.
Yeah, he's good, and I think JSN is just better overall for the targets that he gets than St. Brown does. St. Brown is in a lot of contested catches, and that makes those targets like maybe go up more, but there's also the risk of that getting intercepted or being a little bit of like a crossing route and not a deep threat.
The only thing that would give you pause is the quarterback situation. Like I'd rather have Jared Goff than Sam Darnold.
Yes.
Just like in that offense, because I mean now you've now got a year of Sam Darnold in that system because it's assuming that the system will be mostly the same.
It's going to be mostly the same.
It's like I would rather have, if you're going strictly from who's throwing the football, I would rather have Amon-Ra, but JSN is the better player.
Yeah. It is a toss up there. I think both options are good.
I don't think you could go wrong. If you're faced with both of them and you picked one over the other, I don't think you would be in the wrong. Same if you had JSN up with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. Like if you had all 4 of them available to you, I don't think you could be faulted for taking any one of them.
Now, one thing to consider if we're looking at this Amon-Ra versus JSN scenario, the Lions have the 30th easiest schedule.
Yeah, there is also that.
So they could be putting up some numbers because I'm pretty sure the Seahawks are like at third.
Well, yeah, because you play in the division of death.
Yes, yeah. Oh, actually, it's not even that bad. They're the 20th easiest schedule.
Well, yeah, because outside of the 4 hard games, it's not like your schedule is particularly terrible.
So if you're looking at that, you probably end up taking Amon-Ra over JSN in fantasy purely because he's going to be playing against the Jets. He's going to be playing against the Panthers. They even get the Cardinals. Like the Seahawks get the Cardinals twice, granted, but that's always the Cardinals are always a weird game.
Division games are weird.
It's always a weird game. They also get the Dolphins. They also get the Titans, which could be good, could be bad.
Oh yeah, the Lions would. Yeah, Dolphins and Jets. I mean, those 2 games alone, Amon-Ra is going to potentially put up a million yards.
He might pop off.
So I don't know.
I think that's a solid comparison.
If you're in if I would say Amon-Ra, JSN, CD, and Pickens are all like, just take your pick. All of them are good. You could make an argument for all of them.
Yeah,
and odds are one of them probably wouldn't be available if it came to that, anyways.
Overall, though, I think JSN is going to be a less attractive pick than he was last.
Someone's still going to pick him up top, and he's right below me.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
it's a trap pick for only you. Only you can prevent JSN from falling out of the top 10.
I'm curious.
Only Mason can keep JSN in the top 10. He's the only one. He's his only hope.
We forgot about James Cook as well, but he'd be lower end.
No, but again, I would rather have James Cook than JSN. I think there's just a lot of good running backs.
So right now with the fantasy drafts that people have been doing, right? Because people are crazy and they do tons of fantasy drafts throughout the preseason.
Mock drafts,
stuff. Yeah, mock drafts, yeah. Right now, JSN has been taken on average at number 7.
So right where you said.
In a 10-man league, by the way. Yeah. He's been taken at 7. The highest he's been taken is 2, which that's a wild. I'm a JSN believer, but that's wild.
I would assume that most people probably view him as wide receiver 3 behind Puka and behind Jamar Chase. And then at that point, it's just do you view him higher than basically the 5th or 6th ranked running back, which we're probably talking like James Cook.
Yeah, 10 to 12 team leagues. He's being taken on average between 5 and 8. So.
Well, would you put Barkley above him?
Yes, I would. In that new in a non-Kevin Patullo offense, yes, 100%.
In a non-Madden cover year.
In a non-Madden cover year in an offense that's just already going to be better. Yes, I would take Saquon over him.
Probably, yeah.
The only place I really disagree with you all on this is I think JSN above Justin Jefferson all day.
I mean, I would love to go with you on that. I'm just scared of what JJ has done in the past.
Yeah, are you more scared of that, or are you more scared of Kyler Murray?
I'm more scared of that because here's the thing:
Justin Jefferson's ceiling is a lot higher.
Well, and when Kyler had time in Arizona, because that man was running for his life constantly against those defenses. And
an actual offensive-minded coach that knows how to coach.
I think he was a good thrower. Like, yeah, he's short, and we'll make fun of him all the time because he's a midget. But the man is pretty damn accurate. He's pretty good at getting the ball where it needs to go. He doesn't have a high interception ratio. JJ's good at breaking free from corners and finding open space. I think that's a pretty good match.
And honestly. I do think that this would be the year that Justin Jefferson potentially could fall in some leagues because he didn't put up numbers last year. So you could potentially get away with a Justin Jefferson in the middle of the 2nd round because people are really skittish on him.
So when Solar takes JSN too high, you might get JJ.
You might get Justin Jefferson later. You may end up with a George Pickens, Justin Jefferson receiving room because there's certain somebody let Justin Jefferson fall.
I will accept that.
All right. I had one last exercise.
All right, let's do it. I love it.
All right, so this is going to be like a mock draft as well, just like I did a while ago with the AFC North. But I'm going to give you a position, and y'all have, I'm going to give you team name.
Okay.
You have to pick a player to put in the skill position.
Oh, okay.
Once you pick it, and another team comes up that's better, it's stuck.
over.
Okay, you ready?
Okay, I'm ready. Are we doing this together? Like, are Hiccup and I deciding together?
Yes, you're deciding together.
Okay. We're building an all PxP Blitz team.
I like it. Okay.
And this will be. I'm not coming up with the teams. I am on a team generator. Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. What we got?
All right, we're doing QB, RB1, RB2, wide receiver 1, 2, and tight end.
Okay, so no kicker. Not a skill position.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, we can do it all if you want. It'll be quick. Commanders.
I mean, oh my gosh. There's only one good player on that football team.
Don't waste that QB slot.
No. We cannot put the QB in there.
Who's their kicker? Who's their kicker?
I mean, I'm just like...
Hold on. Because they got... Who did they get? Let's see. Okay,
they've got Jake Moody, but Jake Moody was not very good when he was with the Niners. There's a reason that he's not with the Niners anymore.
Oh my gosh, their running back room is the worst thing.
Dude, this team is like, you want to talk about a boring team on paper. Oh my gosh.
You got Terry McLaurin, you got the worst McCaffrey, Luke McCaffrey.
I mean, Terry McLaurin, but it's like, I don't want to waste that wide receiver spot, but Terry McLaurin's not a terrible wide receiver too. He was just hurt a lot last year, wasn't he? Nope. Yeah, he only played 10 games last season.
Yeah.
And then obviously Jaden Daniels was out for a large portion of the season as well.
Do you trust their defense?
No. That defense is old. Even Bobby Wagner, that team is old.
Bobby Wagner's not on the team anymore. He has not been re-signed.
So yeah, so it's like Jaden Daniels only played 7 games last season. Terry McLaurin only played 10.
They did draft Sonny Styles. Who?
Debo?
No,
I do not. No, Debo is not with the team. So it's like the only players that I would think of taking from the commies are Jaden Daniels or Terry McLaurin.
Oh my gosh, this is all
because that running back room is terrible. That tight end room.
You can Krosky Merritt.
You could put McLaurin. No, they traded him. Remember?
No, McLaurin as a wide receiver too is not a terrible pick. You could definitely do a lot.
Flex.
I feel like you could do better than McLaurin at flex. Yeah. We just happened to stumble into one of the worst skill position teams.
Yeah, I think we have to take.
I think you take McLaurin as wide receiver too. Like you could definitely do worse.
So. Yeah, I agree, man.
Right.
I did not realize how bad they were.
No, it's a really bad team, and they play in a pretty decently hard division.
Yeah.
Oof. All right, I'm spinning the wheel. I don't know why it has to spin for so long, but it does.
It's got to, man. You got to get that.
New York Giants.
There's a few good options on that one.
We could go Neighbors.
But my thing is we don't know if Neighbors is even starting the season. Because remember, it was brought up like that he's still recovering.
Yeah. Status for Giants opener up in the air.
I mean, you've got Isaiah Likely, who is not like a great tight end, but he's above average. I mean, I wouldn't take Dart. I don't think that man is going to, and you don't take Scat because I don't think Scat's going to be healthy.
You don't take Odell because he's old.
I mean, they brought in Darnell Mooney. So it's like you've got, if Neighbors is hurt, like, I mean, I would almost take Likely.
I would take Likely, I think.
I think Likely is probably the best. You get an above average tight end.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, we're going with Likely.
Yeah, because Likely's, and he comes with Harbaugh, so Harbaugh is already gonna plug him into the system.
Right.
Oh, I forgot to eliminate them. My bad. All right, I'm spinning again.
Could be anything.
And this is interesting. New England Patriots.
Oh no.
Do you take AJ Brown?
I think
Do you take May?
Do you take Drake May? I don't think my problem with AJ. The problem with the AJ Brown one is that Romeo Doubs is also right there.
Where do you take their defense?
That is also an option because you do have
Actually, their defense would not be a bad pool.
Yeah, wait, yeah. Give us the Patriots defense.
I like that. I like that.
Because I think Drake May takes a step back, and I think AJ Brown and Dobbs kind of they don't cannibalize each other, but they're not going to be a Jamar Chase T Higgins kind of like both of them are going to be productive. I think it's going to be a very week to week.
All right,
you're going to regret that tight end pick.
Oh crap!
It's probably
Cleveland Browns.
Oh, I mean,
we might regret that.
Hey, well, who's their kicker?
They're not going to score.
Smits?
Who? Is he a rookie?
Wait, I don't know, but his last name, I don't even know how to pronounce this. It's spelled SZMYT.
Oh no, he was their kicker last year.
How do you say that name?
Well, he was 24 for 27 on field goals and 25 of 26 on extra points. So
you pronounce it like Schmidt. Okay. Andre Schmidt. Our defense is gone. Our tight end is gone. Do you take?
No, you do not touch.
But
Judkins is Judkins is a running back too. I feel like there is not a terrible. I feel like I'm higher on Judkins than the rest of than especially 80 is. Because Judkins only played. He missed 3 games last season. He put up just over 800 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Dude, so they're going to be behind so much they're not going to be able to run the ball.
He's got a point.
Just give us their kicker, whatever. I feel like kicker is one of those where it's all like if your kicker is if you're losing games, your kicker is not making the difference.
No. Gosh, dude. The
Tennessee Titans.
Oh. Do you take? I don't think you take Ward as much as I want to.
Who they?
They've got Tony Pollard.
No, stay away from that running back room. Stay away from that. No.
I'm just reading names. I'm not saying
the only thing is Calvin Ridley. That is the only thing I think that you consider. But we already have a wide receiver too.
Wide receiver 2 or flex?
You could draft Carnell.
We already have a wide receiver 2. We have McLaurin.
Yeah, so
you
it's
take
like
Carnell Tate if you believe in the rookie.
I probably believe in him more.
I would believe in him more than Ridley. I would.
I took a chance on Ridley last season. Did not work.
I guess it just comes down to do we trust Cam Ward and the offense? I mean, they'll be better than last year, but are they going to be good enough that you would want one of their receivers? Oh, well, then again, it's like who else?
We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
We got 2 running backs available, quarterback, a wide receiver.
Put Cardell Tate in the flex.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a mistake, but it's like we are getting the worst teams known to mankind.
Or put him at wide receiver 1, and then we get cooked later.
Yeah, no. We are somehow rolling the worst teams known to man. Yes. Like the best team that we've gotten so far is the Pats.
Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, here is Saquon. Lock that. Saquon. Punch that. Punch the running back one. Saquon.
Yeah. You don't even have to think about that one, really.
Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, so I think with Dallas, you're either looking at CD or Pickens, or you're taking Dak.
Or you take Dak.
Dak was good.
He was good last year for me. He was good last year.
Yeah, but doesn't Dak alternate? Doesn't he like every other year?
This would be his alternate year.
I guess we're just kind of on paper. Dak is because you have Pickens and Pickens and Lamb, but it's like Dak benefits from both of them.
Dang, I wish we had a kicker available.
Yeah, Brandon Aubrey.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah, I feel like Dak is.
I think we take Dak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solid.
Eliminate and spin again.
Here we go. We're gonna get some wacko New York Jets.
The Cardinals, dude.
No, but see, Cardinals. I feel like you could, you just take one of the running backs and you'd probably be fine.
Detroit Lions. We have RB2,
give me Jamar Gibbs. No, give me Jamar Gibbs. Jamar Gibbs. I think Gibbs has the potential to be the #1 overall player in fantasy. Without Montgomery back there, it's all Jamar Gibbs.
Yeah, because it's Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, it's Isaiah Pacheco.
That's
all right. So the next spin is our wide receiver 1.
Dude, it's gonna be
it's regardless.
Miami Dolphins.
Oakland Raiders.
Oh.
Who is it?
It's Myers. No, Myers is
Trey Tucker. Trey
Trey
Oh my
Tucker.
God.
No, our wide
This is a
receiver room is
horrible team.
terrible.
Yeah, that's
We don't
not
make-
a good team, dude.
We don't make playoffs.
No, I think we do.
Absolutely
I think
not.
Jamar Gibbs, Dak, and Saquon alone carry this team. I mean, you have two of the
Alright.
top 5 running backs in fantasy.
All right, just for going back and looking. All right, we have Dak Prescott, Saquon Barkley, Gibbs, Trey Tucker, then McLaurin.
Yeah, no.
Likely a tight end, Tate at flex, Browns kicker. I didn't even attempt to spell
Yeah, no. It's like we have the
Patriots
command.
defense.
Like we got the Commanders, the Browns, the Titans. Like we got 3 of the 10 worst teams in the league.
I think we did pretty good for what was given.
I
to
think
us.
for what was given to us, like I don't think we can take. I don't think we could have really taken better players from what was given to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah,
Dak is definitely the best quarterback for fantasy out of the teams we were given. Saquon and Gibbs are the best running backs we could have gotten. Like the receivers, it's like the only thing that we could have changed is taking like AJ Brown and then
Or
taking
CeeDee Lamb
or
or
CeeDee
Pickens.
Lamb. But if we take CeeDee Lamb or Pickens, we don't have Dak.
We
So
don't.
we
have
would have
Dak.
taken
That's
Drake
the
May,
problem. Drake
and then
May,
like
yeah.
I think that Dak, Gibbs, and Saquon and Isaiah Likely to an extent. I think those 4 players I think could do pretty well.
Yeah.
I think so.
We definitely don't get a first week bye in the playoffs.
No,
No.
I think we're squeaking in as a 5 or a 6 seed.
Yeah.
Yep. I
And-
agree.
We
And just
probably
hope-
eliminated in that first round.
Depends on who we play. It would depend
Yeah.
on who we play and how their teams look.
Well, we won't have to play the first or second seed, luckily.
No,
'cause
we
we'll
would
get a
play
bye.
the third. We would play the 3rd or the 4th seed.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was it for the 80, whatever you called it.
The 80 fantasy corner until 80 gives me a better name. Well, that is going to be it for our AFC North deep dive here. We've got the Bengals taking it with the Ravens being a second, Steelers in third with kind of like a middling record, and then the Browns are just constantly in the dumpster. So we'll just leave it at that. Next week, we're going to keep it in the North. We're doing it divisions. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to stay in the North. We're going to do the NFC North next week. We're going to be doing a little deep dive in on the Packers, the Lions, the Bears, and the Vikings. Had a little bit of talk about it today, so we'll be able to jump on that. But we appreciate all of you hanging out, watching the clips, and joining us. We will catch you guys next time. Thank you all.